Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of Real Talk Football Show. And you know what, yeah, guys, yeah, this is a very special one coming today because, see, yeah, this guy, yeah, it's been a long time coming. He's one of those channels, yeah, it's a Manchester United channel. I should have started doing shows with him, but I wasn't just really mentally ready. But right now that I'm mentally ready for this, my Caribbean brother, coming in from Manchester United and a very lovely channel he has down there. See ya, guys. This guy understands Manchester United to the very core. I actually do like his passion for this football club. He loves this club from the heart. I always go down. You guys know me on my channel, yeah, guys, yeah. I always go down to his channel just to. Sometimes I just go there to troll him. I just like the fun and the way he interacts. With the characters down there in his charts. A very very strong core he has down there, yeah. But you know what, yeah, guys. Welcome to the show, yeah. Welcome to the show, my brother Mark. See ya, Mark. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Let me just
Big,
allow you to do that for yourself, bro. Talk to those
big up to
people.
everybody watching.
To my
Big
pen,
up, big
man.
up, big up to everybody watching. This has been a long time coming for sure, guys. I can tell you this, just as much as respect as I have for Claude, I realize he has for me. I check out his channel all the time. Of course, Oregon Guna can confirm. I'm always here chatting shit with him. But big up to everybody watching. It's an interesting situation because I've been admiring his channel before I even had my channel. And to be able
Yeah.
to stream with this guy is a big deal for me today. Much respect to Tony Claude Gunner for giving me the opportunity on the channel. And Arsenal fans, never fear. I'm a rival, but I'm a football fan. I can be honest at the same time. So as much as I would say we're better than you right now, you're performing better than us. So I'll give that to
Mm,
you. But
mm,
realistically, the battle will be here. It was the biggest battle when I was growing up, and hopefully it comes back again. That's what I can say.
mm.
So welcome to the stream. I hope I can give you a nice insight to what I do on my channel, Mark and MUFC fan. But other than that, we're here for the rivalry. The FA Cup is on Sunday, tomorrow, and it's Arsenal, Man United at the Emirates. And we're on Tony Claude Gunner's channel. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's take it away. Uh, I mean, see, yeah, my brother. Let's have a heart-to-heart talk down here, yeah. Manchester United, 13th position in the league. It doesn't get to you. It doesn't get scruffy than this. Yeah. I mean, when you're looking at where we're coming from, yeah, Arsenal is second in the league. Manchester United, throw away the big name that you guys have. You guys are humbly in 13th position, and rightfully so, because you've not played well. Ten Hag has spoiled your season. You brought in a new coach, probably with a new mentality, with the same kind of players that you guys got in. I mean, that you guys had with Ten Hag. That's a different issue altogether. But you brought in a very, very technical manager, great manager by all standards. I
Mhm.
mean, his reputation. I mean, his name just leaves with his reputation that he left down there in Sporting CP. But coming down here, it's 6 games and 1 win, 1 draw. Mark, take it away. How do you see Manchester United getting into this game? Forget Arsenal right now. Just talk about Manchester United. 6 games, 1 win, 1 draw.
It's not been a pretty ride. That's much I could say. And contrary to expectations, Ten Hag, he was sacked. At the end, I would say, it was by the by 50-50. It could have been mostly his fault, could be just the circumstances of the league. What I would say is that United has not covered themselves in glory. Of course, we are the defending FA Cup champions, but the league
Mm,
form this season is a lot like last season. Now, there are a lot of differences with the new manager. He's been here for the last 7 weeks. We have lost our biggest run of games consecutively in this time, which was 5 games. And it's not pretty. But the one thing is, for me as a United fan, I look at the situation as we in a rebuild for the last 2 years. Not a successful one at that matter anyway. And right
mm,
now, it looks like we restarted it all over again. The biggest problem is we didn't restart it in a situation with the time where the manager could come in with some players to fulfill what he wants to do in the ideas he have. The only good thing I would say about United going into this game is we have a few players that have been showing positive performances consecutively.
Mm.
Amad Diallo, Bruno showed a good performance. Even in a bad performance, he's still okay, in my honest opinion, because we don't have that player, or we didn't have a player that was doing it week in, week out consistently for the last 18 months. Now,
But I mean, I would like to stop you on your tracks down there. Yeah, I mean, I know I've watched your show many times, man. I see the way you talk about Bruno Fernandes with lots of respect, actually. But again, that's not the same kind of mentality other Manchester United fans that I mess around with. That's not the same kind of mentality they have towards Bruno Fernandes. They see him as a liability. They see him as a non-captain material. I mean, check his credentials, actually. Yeah. I mean, of course, he's won a couple of titles. I mean, domestic cups for Manchester United. But there's this thing about the trail of inconsistency that he's left with his name. His reputation is in the mud when it comes to discipline. I mean, you have to take me back to Roy Keane. I mean, in Manchester United, the way Bruno Fernandes is raking them those red cards. I mean, it just reminds me of Roy Keane. I mean, and Roy Keane was this very, very strong, bitter character. And he showed it on the field because he always loved to win. He loved Manchester United from the heart. But again, he was also a very tough guy. I don't really necessarily see Bruno Fernandes as a very tough kind of character. But do you think he's captain material, mostly with the inconsistencies he's been having in this team? Shout out to Mama Flossie. Shout out to Ken Fan TV. Big up to you, my guy. He says, big up, Tony. That's my chief moderator, Mama Flossie in the house. Newcastle fan. Big up to you.
Building.
I'll see you in 2 weeks' time, Mama Flossie, when we do lock heads and lock horns with Newcastle at St. James Park in Northumberland. Big up to you. Ken Fan TV says we lack attacking threat. That has been our problem. Yeah, Mark, you were saying something. So about Bruno Fernandes, please just give us perspective. Inconsistencies in discipline. I mean, it's scattered all over the place. I mean, you don't know. You could get the Bruno Fernandes that showed up against Liverpool at Anfield, and then you can also still get the Bruno Fernandes that showed up against Newcastle. The inconsistencies trail his name. What do you have to say to that?
I mean, I can't disagree. In the last 18 months, he has been far from the consistent Bruno that we knew, the top creator in the Premier League that we knew the previous seasons. He hasn't contributed near as much. So I would have totally agree with that. His inconsistencies is a problem. But in this Man United current aspect, when we look at his performances, and what he was bringing before he was made captain, I didn't think there was really a better choice. If you want to say we don't have that strong mind like a Roy Keane, of course not. I don't think there's much players in the game that has that kind of mentality at this day and age. So it's one of those things where I feel like we can't always just look at a player when he is underperforming. What about when he was overperforming and there was underperforming players around him? And currently in the squad, there are more underperforming players around Bruno than Bruno. If you understand what I'm saying. So and when Bruno is out of the team, we look lost. We look like we lack leadership. Every single game, and this is the weirdest thing, right? We call Bruno a poor leader. But the games when Bruno don't play is the games when all the headlines are United look like they lack leadership. And it's the weirdest thing. So for me, it's like I wouldn't mind totally if they remove the captaincy from Bruno. They could give it to anyone. Anyone who's willing to step up and take it. Give it to De Ligt. He's been a good captain for Ajax under Ten Hag. He's been a leader at a young age. Maybe he might be the guy.
And he's actually led that Manchester United defense. I mean, if we go into the figures of Manchester United defensively this season, I mean, they've been considering some kind of like shitty goals. I mean, you guys concede quite much from corner kick set pieces. I mean, not that good in terms of arrangement down there with set pieces. I mean, you guys are very, very susceptible, vulnerable when there's set pieces from all angles. But again, if we check it out, you're 13th in the league. But you've just considered just 28 goals. I mean, that's not too much when you consider the kind of goals Manchester City, the defending champions, have actually conceded, or teams around you that are in 12th or that are in 13th. Both of those teams have actually conceded 39 goals each. So
Exactly.
Manchester United is not on that level. The problem there is that you're not scoring goals and you're conceding some certain kind of stupid goals, if
Silly
you
goals.
want to say silly goals. You guys are just conceding. But again, defensively, it's not been bad. And I mean, yeah, you could be able to criticize Maguire and you know, or sometimes the height of the butcher Martinez. But again, defensively, Manchester United that isn't really the poorest in the league. I mean, to what extent would you kind of like say Delic, Martinez, and Maguire have really stepped it up a notch just a little bit? I mean, do you think it's a very sustainable defense going on,
I
mostly
think
into
it's
this
an
matchup?
evolving defense, to be fair, not to cut you, but I feel like it's an evolving defense. I feel like, we went, at the beginning of the season, we actually, for the first 10 games, we didn't concede more than, I think it was 9 goals or 11 goals. We were for
Mm-hmm.
the least goals conceded in the top 3 at that point. And
Mm.
since then, we've conceded a lot of silly goals, like you would be saying, especially we conceded 2 against you and 2 corner kicks. I mean, Stoke City ball
Oh,
was running the day that day. I know
oh
I
my
have to
days.
admit.
So you're
But
one of those fans that call
no, but you
Arsenal
see, the
Stoke
thing is,
City
Claude, I will be honest
2.0,
and
right?
say that if we can't defend it well, we should concede, in the sense that we
Mm,
deserve to concede those goals for the poor marking that we're doing. We lack physicality, we lack presence in the set piece areas. I mean, to
mm,
say that it's not only about having height, it's about mentality as well. And I feel like
mm,
Onana and maybe some of his teammates could have helped him out a little better in some situations. I feel like he could be a little bit more proactive in some situations, because
yeah,
standing on your line for every single corner is a recipe to be scored on.
yeah.
In the first 10 games of the season, he was coming and claiming balls and he stopped. So maybe there's a slight difference. Of course, we switched from a back 4 to a back 3. So, of course,
Mm,
there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be little
yeah,
mistakes, because it's a different way to play when you're playing with defense, with a defense of a 3 than a 4. Of course,
yeah.
we do have little problems with the team not being balanced. I don't think we have the right lineup of midfielders or total amount of midfielders we need. When Ugarte is
Mm,
missing, we have a big problem in the midfield. Also, concurrently, we haven't had a proper left back, or a sustainable left back, for 18 months.
yeah.
We've been
Mm.
rotating that position more than any other position in the league. So realistically, I feel like it's one
I
of those
mean,
things.
Diego Dalot
He's
has
not a
had
left back,
to.
so
He's
I
not a
can't be
left
mad
back,
at
but
him.
he has had to go down to that position to actually shore that position up. And
Exactly.
to be very sincere with you, he actually locked up Mohamed Salah. To be very
In that
sincere with
game, I
you, brother.
mean, I
To
can't
be
lie.
very
I can't
sincere
lie.
with
He will
you,
have good performances, Claude.
I
But the
mean,
problem is, I feel like we judge him from the fact that we expect him to be a left back. He is not.
mm,
And by any
mm,
means, if he's going to have good performances, he's going to have average performances, and he's going to have shit performances, because he's not playing in his position. And I think that's the most
mm,
unfair situation for a player. I mean, he's not the best right back in the world, don't get me wrong. But I do
mm,
think if he had those same amount of games on the right back, fans would not be saying, we should sell Delo. They might have been
yeah,
saying, hey, Delo's having a very good season. Mazarawi is
mm,
currently on the right back, and he's having an amazing season. Of course, he's had 1 or 2 poor games, but for the large part, he's been the player of the season, in my opinion, besides from Ahmad.
yeah,
So right
mm,
now, it's one of those things where fans were like, okay, we could sell Dalo, but if Mazarawi's injured, who do we have? We don't have no
yeah,
one. So it's all
mm,
about building a squad with balance, and building a squad that, if we have first teamers and we have players who could come on and still keep the level of the team at a high level. And until then, I think as a United fan, is the one hardest thing to do, to accept the fact that we are not that Man United that we were. Is the most difficult thing.
mm. Is the most difficult thing. Yeah, of course, I do agree with you. Shout out to Endon Gooner. He's down here. It says Kenny Fan TV. Are you a United fan?
Yeah,
I
he's a
think
United
so.
fan.
He's a United fan. He says, Hendon, I am, bro. And of course, Hendon Gooner is a big, big, big member of my channel. And it says, Kenny Fan TV, your attack is more potent than Arsenal's at present. Mark, I want you to listen to this from Hendon Gooner, because I might not really agree with that, because I mean, the table doesn't really show. This is the fact. I'm a stats guy. I mean, I'm a stats guy. I follow what the numbers tell me. If the
Okay,
numbers say that Arsenal have scored more goals than Manchester United, so therefore one is equals to one. One plus
exactly.
one is equal to two. I mean, the numbers is what leads me on. Yeah, I go with the numbers. If Arsenal
Exactly.
have scored more than Manchester United this season, Arsenal is a more potent side attacking wise than Manchester United. Manchester United, if I go by what you guys have scored this season, 26 goals, if I'm correct.
Mhm.
You've scored about 26 goals this season. You've considered about 28 goals or two less than what you've scored this season. But I mean, if you check it, Arsenal have scored more goals. I really do think our attack is more potent than yours. I mean, you can slag off Kai Havertz the way you like. You can slag off the performances of Martinelli this season. I mean, you can critique Gabriel Jesus. You can also critique the injury problems that we have with Bukayo Saka and, of course, with Waneri. But the fact
Mhm.
still remains that Arsenal still produced more goals than Manchester United this season. But again, let's finish up what Hendon Gunn said. He said, Arteta's style of play has destroyed the attacking prowess, and our incompetent forwards who fluff what chances they do get. I mean, coming into this matchup, Arsenal versus Manchester United, keep it key in your head, Mark. Yeah, you're coming down to the Emirates. Attacking wise, do you think you're a more potent side than Arsenal Football Club has to give right now in attack right now? And when I'm talking of the attack, I'm talking of course, the usual suspects that
Mhm.
would roll up against you. I'm talking of Kai Havertz, of course, in that number 9 position. I don't think he's dropping back to midfield. Talking of Gabriel Martinelli in place of Leandro Trossard, and of course, maybe a Gabriel Jesus will come down the right hand side. But what do you think? Is your attack more potent than that attack coming into this matchup? I mean, it's a
That's,
fierce battle. Don't
I
get it
mean,
wrong. It's a fierce battle.
as a United fan, generally, I would say my attack more potent than those three attackers you call. They're genuinely, not based on now or anything, but just the names. I would say, yeah, my attack more potent because I think Hoyland is a better
Really?
forward than Havertz. I think even Joshua Zirkzee will prove to be a better forward than Havertz. That's just my thinking. You know what I mean?
Wait,
And I would say, I
Mark,
would say this out loud, right? Because I don't know if you
Mark, Mark.
might be
How
mad
many
at me.
goals has Hoyland? How many
This
goals has
season,
Mark?
he on 8 goals, I
Many
think, this
goals has
season.
Hoyland Rasmus gotten this season?
I think he on
Where
eight
did you
goals
get
in
your
total.
numbers from?
Not in all competitions. I think it's something like 8 goals or something like that. Could be more, but I could be wrong. I think it's about 8.
No, I'm talking of in the Premiership. I
In the
see what
Prem
you're
now,
doing, brother.
he only has 2 in
I
the
see
Prem
what
this
you're
season.
doing, brother. I'm
No,
talking
no,
of
no.
the
I'm
Premiership.
asked for
You
how
say
many goals he have. Goals are goals. He didn't tell me in the Prem. He has 2 in the Prem. Now, in the Prem, now the thing is,
I mean,
my
the
striker
number says
concurrently is
it
a
all. That Kai Havertz has about 12 goals this season.
yeah, he does. He in my
I
FPL,
mean, he
but
has the numbers. He has the numbers in Premiership wise. He's a more potent striker than Rasmus Hoyland ever was and ever will be.
I don't think ever will be. I think that's a stretch. I think you have to remember that Kai Havertz has a lot of experience in the game. He has developed. He has learned what he needs to do, what is best working for him. I think he has been much better at Arsenal than he has been at Chelsea as well. When he was coming out of Germany, I was like, yo, this guy could be a problem. Because I saw him in the
Mm,
Under-20 World Cup. I thought he was fantastic, and he was struggling at Chelsea. I think
mm,
Hoyland has a lot more to develop. I think right now we are scratching the surface with him. I think the proper development is needed because
yeah.
realistically he has all the attributes to be an elite striker. As if he could
Mm,
marry the attributes with the right techniques and experience, like running channels and all these things, and he should be fine.
mm,
He need to work on his first touch as well. So, but currently in this moment, heading into the game, I don't think United has a more potent attack. I think United attack is struggling. We have been struggling since last season to score goals. We have At the beginning of the season, we were averaging 18 chances per game and 9 big chances on average. But right now, in the last 10 games, we've been averaging something like 12 and 6 or 4 big chances per game. So you see, concurrently, as you were saying, Amorim might be the more tactical, might be that better guy for Man United. But until his ideas are fully sunk into this team, we are not even creating on average as many chances as we were creating with Ten Hag previously.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
same problem has been persistent. We are unable to take the chances we have created. If we had taken half, in total half of the chances we've created all season, we'd have probably scored 47 goals by now
Yeah,
and probably be in
yeah,
the top four. But it's a
yeah,
weird one. In current
yeah.
form, I think that also goes out the window when Arsenal clash with Man United, same with Liverpool and even Man City. I think those unique fixtures, are a joy to watch for any fan watching, especially a neutral. And I think in this
Mm,
game tomorrow, as much as Arsenal might have the more potent attack, I think Arsenal does need to be a lot worried about this Man United team.
mm. Shout out to Brenny K74. I mean, he just came to my channel. That was a couple of days ago, and I felt his impact. Big up to you, Brenny K74. Thanks. I really do appreciate you coming down here and showing me some love and showing my channel some love. Also, Kenny Fan TV is down here. Hendon Gina, my guy, is also down here. Please keep the chat rolling, guys. See, Mark, just before we roll into another topic I got for you, I just want to tell you, I don't believe in 1,000 years that Manchester United attack comes close to what Arsenal is producing at all this season. I mean, we've had, see, yeah, Arsenal, I can't remember when last we had a scintillating performance. I mean, my team is really that shitty, and we're in second right now. Brother, I don't think you have what it takes in attack to really scare me. So, I mean, yeah, Diallo is a, I mean, is a different option down there. I mean, to me, he's that kind of kid that carries the team. And of course, you guys just rewarded that kid with a new contract, and that's what hurts me because I mean, coming into this Arsenal game and you reward a Diallo with a huge contract like that, placing so much on that young kid, giving him so much, is happy and he wants to show why that contract was being given to him. That's the only danger I smell in that attack line coming coming to the MUA, because it gives him more room to just say, you know what, yeah, I've just been blessed with a new contract by this team I love so much. I mean, I might just as well keep scoring goals, and that's my bigger fear coming into this matchup. As for Hoyland, ah, I never liked his style of play when he was at Atalanta. I mean, his highest goal haul in Atalanta was about 12 goals in a season. I mean, it's that not your best kind of guy you want leading the line in a big football club. In fact, the best football club in the whole of the league, if you're going by what they've achieved, definitely. Hoyland Rasmus isn't that kind of guy. I mean, you could also say that Fernandez has also been playing kind of like, he has actually been encroaching towards your attack line in some ways because you're not using Rashford in any way. I mean, he's also always consigned to the bench. We'll talk about that later on. So, I mean, you don't really have so much in that forward line. I mean, and you brought in a striker from Bologna and he wants out. In fact, he wants to go back to Juventus. That's a big story altogether. We'll throw that all away. The big question I want to ask you is, right now, the transfer window is open. Now, I'm hearing that Garnacho wants out. I'm hearing in some quarters that if the right amount of money comes in for Kobe Maino, you guys are willing to sell this guy. I mean, I'm also hearing that Dalot is also on the chopping block. I mean, everybody is on the chopping block when it comes to Manchester United. I mean, coming into this matchup here, do you expect this young and older Manchester United players that have been linked away from this football club going forward, even transcending more than Arsenal? Do you think they're willing to actually say, you know what, yeah, this football club wants me out? Why should I give 100%? out here when every day I'm hearing in the news the screaming fans telling me I'm shit. I mean, and just in fact, I'm mentally checked out. Do you think that that's where most of the Manchester United players, mostly the ones that just came in and the ones that are a little bit younger, I'm talking of the Garnachos, I'm talking of the Kobe Mainos, I'm talking of even new entrants, Zexi. I mean, the transfer news and transfer rumors is rife that he wants to escape. He has sent an SOS message to Juventus. My brother, take it away from there, man.
Well, concurrently to what some transfer rumors might say, actual transfer gurus have been saying their reports Joshua Zirkzee wants to remain at Man United. He's eager, to get himself as he start finding that he's getting up to the and getting more used to the league and the pace of the league. I think it's a little too soon, you know what I mean? With Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo, my manager said it best. I'm very happy with them. They are our talents. We would love to keep our best players, and we want to keep them. I'm very happy with their performances. And of course, he spoke about Garnacho before. He thought Garnacho was upset with him a few weeks ago after not being played for 2 games. And he was like, you know what? I'm happy that he's upset with me. It shows that he wants to do something, and he will do something. So, current to speculation, I feel like, yeah, if the right price comes in, 60, 80 million pounds, no one is safe in my club, bro. At the end of the day, like, we are in a rebuild, and in a rebuild, sometimes you might have to sell some of your best and brightest to facilitate. And sometimes these sacrifices have to be made. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. At the end of the day, I've been here long enough to know we sold Ronaldo. You know what I mean? We sold Tevez. So we sold Beckham. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I've seen it before. I'm not going to cry. What I'm happy about is that, you are not afraid of guys like Højlund. You're not considering guys like Joshua Zirkzee. Even Anthony might be out of favor, but these are the guys that I think might be hurt Arsenal the most. And if Anthony was to start in the right wing back position, partnering Ahmad in the 10, like he's on the right wing back, Ahmad is the right 10, I think Arsenal is in big problems because, we have seen 2 games this season where United best performance in attack came when those 2 players were playing on the same side of the field. It's going to be a very interesting game. And while a lot of people don't like Højlund's current performance of late, there have been improvements in his performances, and he's a very, very clinical striker. He has the best goals per shot ratio in Europe.
My days.
So let's be honest.
Oh my God. Are
you know what I mean? So you're a stat man.
Oh,
I'm not a stat man. But at the end of the day, I would say I'm more of a layman in terms of sports. I a little bit old school in the sense I look at players for what they are. I know we brought some young players into the team. I know between 1 to 3 seasons before they really show the quality that they are, the refinement. So I'm here for that. At the same time, of course, I hope that we had a more finished article up front that would finish goals that could guarantee us 20 plus goals a season. Of course, that is the dream because you are in football to win. You know what I mean? It's not about niceties. Definitely. So right now, currently, it's a disappointing situation as a fan because a lot of the players in the squad are developing. Garnacho, Kobe, even Ahmad is still developing. They have levels to go still. Of course, we have players that we brought in as well. Euro. Even Dalot still might have a little bit of work to do on himself. And we have some experienced players like Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen, some of them on their last leg, some of them going through inconsistency. So it's a difficult time for United fans. But I dare say, this United has shown one thing. When you count them out, is the situation when they're most dangerous. And I think Arsenal might be complacent in the game because we were at the Emirates. We've lost at the Emirates previously. Last season, everybody would remember those things. And you all came to us this season and you all beat us this season. So I think Arsenal fans, the stadium, everyone is expecting a Gunnar win tomorrow, which is not too off. To be honest, it's right. I would say it's
not far from reality.
It's not far, but as a United fan, and from what I've seen in this team, especially with the performance against Liverpool, and I'm not saying not just because of Bruno, I'm saying because there are other players in the team that has shown something in that game that I feel like going into this game, they will all be up for this game. You know, and especially with the transfer market active, you usually see the best in some players, especially if a player wanted a move, is when they will put in a good performance to draw the attention. So it could be a double-edged sword for Arsenal tomorrow. And as a United fan, I'm here for that.
Good. See, I just want to carefully address some of the things you brought up in that argument. I mean, you talked about Hoyland again. I mean, the numbers he has put forward this season in the Premiership, even last season, yeah. I mean, those numbers actually reflect where you, as a football club, house in a sunken place Manchester United is in right now. I mean, that's the rot that has that has come to be associated with Manchester United right now. I mean, how do you go from the most elite team in the goddamn country to I mean the
By
jacuzzi's
Dubai.
being rusty. I mean, the stadium's leaky. I mean, that's it. I mean, rats infested. I mean, rodent infested. Bro, come on, bro. We don't need to do this, bro. And
Well, I
again,
mean, we know, everyone knows
I
the
mean,
one
Mark.
thing
I mean,
that the
Mark,
Premier League did
and
that
then
saved every other
and
club.
then Mark,
Was
and then
exactly.
Mark. You bring in a striker for big money. You bring in a striker from Atalanta for big money. I mean, when you check, the emergence of Rasmus Højlund from Atalanta, he didn't come on a cheap. I mean, let's look at this for facial value and for what it is. He was a big time signing. He didn't come in as a 20 million pounder, as a 30 million pounder, as a 40 million pounder. He came in for about 80 million, if I'm correct. I
70
mean,
million pounds. Actually,
70 million
65
pounds.
plus add-ons, but let's not go into that. Came in for the same price as
It's
Kai
about 80
Havertz.
million euros. It's about 80 million euros.
Yeah, 65 million pounds plus add-ons.
Exactly. That's the same amount of money Arsenal chipped away
Paid
for
for
Kai
Kai.
Havertz. So it's big time money we're talking
It's
about.
big money.
So when you earmark such amount of money for a striker, you are expecting at least 20 goals a season when you spend that kind of money on a striker. I mean, back to 10 years ago. I mean, this kind of crazy money we're talking about right now is what will get you a striker to come into your football club and give you at least 25 goals in a season. We do know in order for you to win the Premiership, you must have a focal guy in front of your attack, leading their attack, at least giving you 20 to 25 goals. I'll just ask you a yes or no answer. Is Rasmus Højlund a 20-25 goal scorer per season? Yes or no?
Well, no, I can't say that.
No,
because he
that
has not
says it
done
all.
that. You know,
Good.
but I
That
think
says
that's
it.
also
That
where I
says it
have
all.
to
That says it all, and that tells you the position where Manchester United are in right now, and you in 13th for a big reason. That's why, because the recruitment has been bad. Like same thing with
You agree
Arsenal.
on that?
The recruitment has been bad. There's no sustainability, and it goes from top to bottom. The management doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, the players themselves, Ten Hag, very clueless. But again, Ten Hag still managed to still grind out something out of that team. He won some couple of domestic cups. I don't think Amorim would do the same. But again, let's see where that goes. But again, let's go into something even more bigger, something even more concrete, which is how we are going to set up as a team tomorrow. When I look at Arsenal, yeah, I fancy my chances against this Man United team. Yeah, they've conceded about 28 goals this season. So, the defense is a bit suspect. When you see that game against Liverpool, same old mistakes come to haunt Manchester United yet again. Going forward, you saw the intensity Manchester United put into going forward in that matchup. But the good thing about Manchester United going forward is that there will be spaces to exploit. And that's what I'm counting on when they come down to the Emirates. They will expose the midfield. A couple of spaces will open up. I fancy Kai Havertz. His form has been a bit drab this season, mostly after his injury. But again, this is a Manchester United side that has only one win in about 6 games. I fancy my chances against those lots. If you guys with the way Amorim plays, he's gonna, he's gonna come out swinging. He's gonna come out attacking. So those little pocket spaces are gonna open up. And I mean, Manchester United. I mean, with the kind of defense that you have, with the kind of environment that you're coming in tomorrow. I mean, you've not had such big joys in the Emirates lately. I mean, we used to be the whooping boys, in this kind of typical fixture between Manchester United and Arsenal. But I mean, in the last 4 or 5 seasons, I mean, that has gone through autocorrect. Arsenal have found more joys against this Manchester United in terms of this fixture. Maybe not always in the Premiership before, but right now things have totally changed. I mean, we have the upper hand. We've scored more goals in recent seasons than you. We've haunted, gone head to head with your city rivals, Manchester City, for the title 2 seasons back to back. I mean, Arsenal has improved as a team than Manchester United. But the truth is that Ten Hag is that divisive factor that have actually given you 2 trophies, even if your seasons haven't really been that good. So that has that tendency of kind of like, overshadowing what we're looking at through the eye test. But again, look into this game, yeah. The midfield. I mean, what would be your typical setup in the midfield? I mean, would you go with the usual Mazarawi, Kobe Maino, Ugarte, and of course Diego Dallo, and of course maybe when there's an incursion, he goes back and help out in that right back position, and of course the same thing with Mazarawi, head back down to the left hand side to help out. I mean, you play a back three, but in essence, I want to call it a back five because when you guys are under pressure, when you guys are under pressure, Diego Dallo and you, bro, Diego Dallo is running back. No, but it's true. In that Liverpool matchup, you played with a back three. But when you guys were under pressure, Maserati was always on the left hand side, running back to help out down there. We have Diego Dallo, who was always on the neck of Mohamed Salah. Great performance on the day, but that's how it looks like. How is your midfield going to keep in check Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey, who definitely has joys against you in a couple of fixtures that we've been playing, and of course Declan Rice?
Well, the interesting thing is that concurrently, we'll be featuring a midfield pairing of possibly Kobe Mainu and Ugarte. And I think pound for pound, Ugarte and Kobe Mainu, are not far off Declan Rice. I mean? I think Kobe Mainu's shown Declan Rice how to play the DM role. We've seen it many times against him. Yeah. I think when Kobe Mainu plays against Declan Rice, we see his quality a lot. Ugarte is that engine that we were missing all along. And I think it's going to be a tough midfield battle for Arsenal, more so than you expect. Thomas Partey coming in is definitely going to be interesting. But, when you look at it from my perspective, I think Bruno is the deciding factor in the game. Of course, Martin Odegaard is tidy, but he doesn't take that much risk. And Bruno, being that risky guy, we've seen that he can hurt you. And he can hurt any team on his best day. So for me, I'm like, it's going to be a very difficult, interesting midfield battle between two teams, two very, very good midfields. And there's a long time that I can say Man United have a good midfield. But Kobe Mainu, Ugarte, Bruno is as good a midfield as Odegaard, Rice and Partey. That's just my word on that. I mean, some people might disagree, but I think they are just as good a midfield. If not, on their day, they could be better. But that's just me being a United fan. So that might be a little bias there. However, I do expect the midfield to feature a different starting lineup this time. I don't expect Mazraoui to start in the right wing back role. I'm hoping he actually starts in the right centre back role and Anthony starts in the right wing back role. Because I want to go on the front foot in the first half. I want to attack Arsenal. I want to take the game to Arsenal at the Emirates. And, I would like to put them on the front foot and really test Arsenal defense. They haven't been looking too great in the last 6 games themselves. They've been conceding some easy goals off the right-hand side, in transition. So I've been looking at it and I've been thinking to myself, our best form is to partner Ahmad with someone who could link up well with him, and that's Anthony. You also have the likes of Bruno, who will be in the middle, which will always be a danger from a shot outside the box. And, concurrently, I think Hoyland has a few things he would like to say to Gabriel after the rugby tackle in the game last year. It's really ridiculous in some instances with some of the calls to the referees and things, but at the same time, it is a football game. These things happen. The best man win on the day. And I do think that one thing Arsenal needs to be concerned about is the way Man United are on a transitional attack. It's very dangerous for them. And while I think Arsenal has the more potent attack, they haven't seemed to be able to score on Man United this season from open play. It's only because of set pieces. And I think that's a strong point that Arsenal, they can't deny that they have. But it's also a weak point, because if Arsenal were to get countered on one of those set pieces, and United being quick in the transition as they are, it could hurt Arsenal in the game. So this is why I'm saying it's going to be a very, very difficult game, more so for Arsenal because of possible complacency and the fact that Man United are the underdogs, and whenever they are the underdogs, they usually perform.
No, I mean, it's very interesting. You brought that up, talking about the set pieces. I mean, of course, you do know. I mean, when you started the show, you called Arsenal Stoke City 2.0. So definitely, you do know that we're Corner Kick FC. Good and okay, no problem. I completely embrace that nomenclature. That's not an issue. But the problem there is that Manchester United this season have shown that they have problems in defending set pieces. He's conceded a number of acrimonious goals this season from set pieces itself. I think that's a danger point, that you're not recognizing that. I mean, a team that has been, once beaten, I mean, you can always go back there. I mean, man, it's just like a lady, yeah, that you've been there with her before, I mean, you'll likely, and she's single or something like that. I mean, you guys haven't seen each other for a long time. I mean, you can as well go back there and test the waters again. I mean, you. I mean, you can still have that. There's that possibility. There's that possibility that it might happen again. It's the same thing with Manchester United.
One of those things.
We do know that Achilles' heels is conceding corner kicks this season. They don't have a clue when it comes to trying to organize the defense, when it comes to set pieces. It's a big problem for Manchester United, mostly when you have the energetic Martinez. I mean, his high facial value. I mean, that's something that you should be trying to address in the transfer window, because, of course, he could give you a lot more in defense in terms of energetic, his abilities or what his skill set. I get that. But, I mean, his height is a big problem when trying to clear set pieces away. And, of course, when you have a suspect goalkeeper like Onana, I mean, it can easily be triggered. I mean, so set pieces is your Achilles heel. So I think that should be a bigger problem you should be looking at when you're coming down to the Emirates, and you're not really recognizing that. I really do recognize that Manchester United's transitional play has actually improved, in a while. But I just feel the only thing missing from your transitional play, even if I think it's more potent, and I think that it has led to more creativity in terms of chance created via transitions, I don't really think that there's an end product to that transitional play. Because if you have end product to that transitional play, maybe the kind of goals you score this season in terms of the statistically would be in the 30s or be in the 40s. I mean, but if your transitional play has really improved the way you say it is, then I doubt it, because I'm not seeing the numbers. I do agree with you, because I know the numbers you're getting from created chances from transitional play. I completely get that when you're talking about that. But of course, we do know football is a game of numbers, and the game of numbers at the business end of the season, it has to come with 3 points. I don't think your transitional play has actually come with end product, and that's where the bigger problem is. Uh, It's with the end product with your transitional play. However, Arsenal also is also a very very big potent team when it comes to transitional play. It has slowed down a little bit, but I mean Arsenal have. I mean, if we catch you on a good counter attack, I mean it could spell doom for you. So I mean, you would see two teams battle tomorrow that has great and good transitional play. It just boils down to the team that would kind of like make use of those chances and kind of like bury them. Don't you think that would be the issues that we should be seeing down there, trying to just get into, I think, just get into the yard and smash the goals up in it, because those chances will show up for both teams.
I think so. I think it's going to be a situation where both teams have to take their chances. It's going to be a very good defensive tactical game. But Man United, most importantly, needs to take their chances. And if you've been watching Man United concurrently with Arsenal, I know Arsenal will create chances. I know that they will have enough chances where they will take a chance. But when it comes to Man United, I would say I've been a stat man, the first
Mm,
10 minutes is more of a dangerous situation for Arsenal than for Man United, because we have scored more goals in the first 10 minutes of games
yeah,
than Arsenal this
true.
season. And I think in the first 10 minutes of games, Arsenal has been more susceptible this season to conceding goals. Luckily
Mm,
for Arsenal, for whatever reason, the game at home at United, we had no attacking threat. None. We presented nothing going forward for Arsenal to threaten that and to put that to the test. But I think it's different this weekend. I think it's especially different because of the performance we had against Liverpool. Because so many players who weren't performing chose to have a big game in that game. It puts the team at a higher level of expected output and performance going into this game, because we come from Arsenal, from Liverpool to Arsenal, from one rival to another. And I would say probably Liverpool might be the biggest rival, but in my opinion, we've had the longest, really heartwarming rivalry between Arsenal and Man United. So many years it was 1-2, 2-1, 1-2. You know what I mean? In the sense of finishing in the Premier League. And for
mm,
me, I always respected Arsenal because of that. And I always would respect Arsenal because of that. They always had a quality team. The likes of Cesc Fabregas, Robert Pires. We
yeah,
could go from Youngberg to
yeah,
Burkamp, and even
yeah,
Thierry Henry. And
yeah,
United same. We produced some amazing talents and amazing teams in the face of the Premier League, and we will
yeah.
continue to do so. The game
Mm,
tomorrow, one team is on the up. They have been on the up for the last 18 months. I would say our first season under Ten Hag, I still think Arsenal fans would have preferred to have that season than their first season, that 2023 season that you all had, finishing second. I think you'd have taken a third place and the trophies, 2 cup finals that we played in our first season under Ten Hag. I think you'd have taken that, because then it would have shown a little bit more. It would have shown that your team could win. Because
mm,
realistically, you're competing at the top of the league, but you haven't won anything in 5 years, bro. And that's the biggest thing for
yeah,
me with the Arsenal team. This team needs to win something, whether it be a Carabao
yeah,
Cup, FA Cup, a
yeah.
UCL, or a Premier League. You all need to win something,
We
because
have to win
realistically, other
something.
than that, for me, like I don't not rate Arteta or rate him equally. Is by the by for me, because consistently, I would say you could like a manager, you could dislike a manager, but you can't deny that the guy is doing a good job there currently. Y'all are always in the top conversation for competition right now in terms of when y'all perform, y'all could more than
I, I,
expect a victory.
I know, but we need end product. I mean, of
Yeah,
course, it's good for you to say it. Looking from Manchester United, looking out from where you are and looking at my team. But again, Mark was starving for a major, major trophy. I mean, you had a bad season last season, but I mean, you've taken trophies, yeah, in seasons that you were that bad. For me, that makes you more successful than Arsenal's two back-to-back title chase. Because at the end of the game, see, again, yeah, I mean, the new fan base we have right now, yeah, they're all up for starts. I'm not just a stats guy. I'm a traditionalist also. But again, I have to mix it up with the numbers too, because at the end of the day, football is a game of numbers. And again, if Manchester United is having a horrible season, but then they go and win the FA Cup, but then they go and win the Carabao Cup, even playing badly and winning this, I mean, this cup and this titles, bro, I need those titles because I'm starving for one. I mean,
Yeah.
does it make sense? I'm starving for a title.
Though, to be
So
fair, bro, and I will say this
I'm,
like this, right? At some point, you see, listen, right? I think I don't know how to explain it, but I won't say that Arsenal are starving for a title. I don't think it's just on Arteta though, because when you look at the team you have and the performances that you had last season, you know, in some moments, that somebody need to take more risks. Somebody need to to go a bit above and beyond what they've been doing consistently. You have a team that is very consistent, bro, but they don't have that guy that in on that day he is going to do some magic, make a magic happen. I mean, Saka is out right now. I think that would be your guy. Odegaard, but he's not really that guy that scores goals. He gets you in the position to score goals. He gets you in and about those positions, but he doesn't bring that goal. So I think maybe, maybe he need a guy like that in his team. And this is why I said yesterday to Oregon Gunnar, a guy like Rashford. Now, while he might not have been consistent for United over the last couple of seasons, we know Rashford on his day could be the best, one of the best on his day. And on
please,
his day,
please let
listen,
him
and
just
against
stay
the
away
big
from my
teams,
football club, bro.
a
Bro,
guy
I'm
like
not having that.
Rashford
I'm not having that. I'm not
against the
having
big
that.
teams, bro,
I'm not
has one
having
of the
that.
best records of goal scoring
Enough.
in the last couple of years, bro.
Mark, I hear you, man, but enough of Arsenal going and getting the throw up of all these teams from a Premiership. I mean, we get the scraps. We never go get the go getters. We go get the scraps from. I mean, the complete scraps, bro. If there's any word, yeah, deeper than scraps, yeah, that's what Arsenal go for. I mean, we went to Chelsea, told them, give us Kai Havertz. And bro, we financed them with 65 million pounds. And see, this is the problem. The manager has gotten nearly up to 750 million pounds sterling of Kronke money and spent under 5 seasons. My brother, with 250 million pounds, that's easy a billion. Arsenal have spent almost a billion trying to refurbish this team, and you're telling me that I can't actually beat a team like Newcastle on a play in a cup game? I mean, the math isn't matching out. How come? How come that I've spent 750 million pounds in about 5 seasons and I don't have a potent striker leading my line? How come in this same team, 750 million pounds spent, and I'm having to have the luxury of putting Thomas Partey playing at right back? I mean, make this make sense. Brother, make this make sense. Why isn't there any competitive replacement for Bukayo Saka? He's gone down the drain right now and he's injured. To my own belief, he's out of the season. Where is the replacement down there? And this manager spent 750 million pounds
But this is
refurbishing this team. I mean, brother, I have Martin Odegaard, who I think is a decent player, but he's not over the top. I mean, look at the numbers. He's only assisted thrice this season, only 3 times in the Premiership. Bro, I'm not having that. If you're my chief provider in that team, you have to be doing a lot more after 18, 19 games in the season. I mean, if you check these loopholes in this Arsenal team, I wonder why I'm in second place for crying out loud. I mean, the match is not matching. I mean, look at my left hand side, completely drab down there. I'm having a mess down there in the left back position. I mean, I have Thierry Entienne on the bench, a very experienced left back, actually, dying on the bench. He can't even play. I have Calafiori blighted by injuries. This manager still came, brought in a Kivior, from Italy, and man can defend. Bro, this manager has had a lot of questionable signings brought into this football club, and a Manchester United fan would not see it from an Arsenal fan's eye view, because we have that eye view of, you know what, yeah, we've not won any major trophies with this guy. Maybe an FA Cup, good and okay. I give him his blessings for that one. You won the cup fair and square, no problem. But I mean, where's the continuity? You need to win more titles. You need to put yourself in those conversations in getting those titles. And in doing that, you need the right players. But I'm sorry, with 750 million pounds, this manager hasn't gotten, I mean, he hasn't gotten a tune out of what we think this Arsenal team could do, mostly with that amount of money being dished out to you. Do you know how many managers are just begging for 250 million to just get a tune out of the team? I mean, how much did Nottingham Forest spend? I mean, in the summer, and Nuno Santo is down there, and look at where the team is. They're challenging for the title. Mark, do you believe that Nottingham Forest is challenging for the title?
I 100% believe that. Like, I look at football in a practical way. You know, this is where the team is at currently. It's not about on. We could talk about paper. On paper, my team better, your team better, this team better, but on the pitch, who win and who better is shown clear as day. And now this is relative as well, you know, because you know if 11 men working their hardest and 5 out of 11 working hard on a pitch. Of course, the 11 men working the hardest might beat the five.
Amy Baba, big ups.
Yeah, of course. But the reality is that I would not say that, you know, I can't say after 10, 20, 10, 15 games, Nottingham Forest team is at the level of Arsenal or Man United. They're performing way above expectation. That's what I would say. Now, at the end of the season, where they finish, we'll have to see. We'll have to hold our hands up and say, well, we didn't expect this from this team. We didn't expect them to be at that level. Now we have to look at them at that level, but to put them on the level, they have to do it a second season, and that is a weird thing. So while they are performing well, kudos to them. They don't have the pressure of Arsenal, far less the pressure of Manchester United to deal with week in, week out. No, realistic, bro. At the end of the day, we could talk all these niceties about the teams like Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth and all these things, but the reality is their fans don't expect them to win the Premier League. Their fans don't expect them to win every game. Their fans don't expect them to top 4. They're not expecting a player to score every single chance. And certainly, they're not sitting here criticizing every single miss, every single bad pass, and every single missed tackle. They are not doing that. And fourth, not to be offensive, not trying to be, but they're not playing in front of 76,000 fans weekly. So it's a different situation. It's a whole different situation. And realistically, what I would say is that this, right? Happy for them. Congratulations. And teams and players from clubs like Arsenal and Manchester United need to look at these brothers and figure out why it is that they, you know what I mean, regardless they don't have the pressure or not, they still running themselves through brick walls week in, week out for half
Chris Woods is leading their attack.
Fraction of the salaries.
Chris Woods, they don't have a fancy striker. It's Chris Woods. I mean, come on, man. It's painful that Arsenal have spent this money here and we can't get a tune out of these guys. I mean, look, Chris Woods, that's the one leading their attack. And look at the position they're in. Bro, see, we've come to the last part of the show. Of course, the predicted 11. What will be your 11, my brother, man? Talk to those people. Man, I've really enjoyed the show, man. You can see the chemistry, bro.
I am
guys, I enjoyed the show.
Finished already, bro. I was like, what? This is the last part? Okay. But anyway, I'm not trying to delay.
59 minutes on the clock, my brother. 59 minutes. Almost an hour.
What I would say about my predicted 11 for this game is I already know that we already heard confirmed reports that Bayern there is starting in goal, so it's not going to be Onana. I would like my back three to be Maguire, Mazraoui, and either De Ligt, Lenny Yoro, or Lissandro, I'm not too concerned about the guy playing on the left. To be honest, I'm being really honest on this, right, for this game.
Euro has been good. I like
Euro
that
has been
player, my
good,
brother, my
but
bro.
you know,
I
for
mean,
me, I'm not
I
too sure
like
if he's
that
ready to
player.
start in this game or this magnitude, but I wouldn't mind. So let's just say
Mm.
Euro for now, to be more precise. Euro,
Yeah.
Maguire, and Mazraoui would be my back three. I would love to see the start Garnacho on the right wing back, or you could start Diego Dallo. I have no problem with either one. I definitely want Kobe Mainoo to be partnering Ugarte, and I want Anthony Dos Santos starting on the right wing. I'm putting Ahmad in the 10, Bruno in the 10, and I'm going to start Joshua Zirkzee in this game. Because, you know... Why? Because I think Joshua Zirkzee is the biggest problem Arsenal
not your beast Hoyland.
No, because you see, there's a second half, and I want to destroy Arsenal in this game. I want to put the Arsenal under some pressure and duress. I want to send the fans into meltdown. So I would give them a Joshua Zirkzee to wear out and frustrate Gabriel Magalhaes for the entire first half. Right, score a goal and have an assist. Arsenal probably go in 2-1 down at the first half and we come out. They bring on Hoyland on the 60th minute, pace and power, finish off the game. You know, I don't know if it will work out like that. Of course, Arsenal are a very good team, like I said, and they will be very dangerous from corners. So, but they are missing Bukayo Saka, and I think that's a huge miss, especially in this game, especially in the form that Man United in. You don't want to give Man United a easy ride on a defensive situation when you're attacking, and I don't think Gabriel Jesus is the same level of a Saka coming down the right hand side. I think it's going to make it an easy situation for Man United down the right hand side.
Who do you want to see in the middle? Do you want to see Kobe Mainoo in the middle play alongside Ugarte in a double pivot? Because I mean, you guys play a double pivot down there, yeah. Kobe Mainoo,
sort of like a double
Ugarte,
pivot,
yeah, like a double pivot down there. But again, are those the people you want to see in the midfield? Who do you want to see?
Yeah, those are the guys I would like to start in my midfield. Ugarte and
Where
Kobe
will Fernandes play? Will Fernandes play in that number 10 position?
With Ahmad.
Okay, with Ahmad. Okay.
Yeah, because we play 2 10s up front behind the striker.
2 10s up front behind the striker.
For Bruno and Ahmad. Of course, you know, I would like to see Anthony on the right wing back. I would say Dalot on the left wing back. I will keep Garnacho as an option. And I will start Joshua Zirkzee as the number 9. Because I just feel like what Joshua Zirkzee brings, if everything works out in the right timing with him and his passes, he will be the person to unlock that Arsenal defense. Whether he scores the first goal or Ahmad or Anthony does, I think he would be one of the key players in opening up the play for Man United to get their chance.
So you think his transfer to going back to Juventus? I mean, he wants to leave to Juventus. The news is right that he wants out of this Manchester United. He just came and he can't take what he has seen. I mean,
you see, I don't understand why you're saying this.
He can't believe the stinker he has seen. Do you think he would be? He can't believe his eyes. I mean, do you think? And of course, man, see, yeah. And again, just look at the way Manchester United is also treating a player like Rashford. I mean, Rashford is on the bench. I mean, he was laughing when you guys were a goal down. With Anthony on the bench, on the day at Anfield. I mean, is Zirkzee not looking into all these things and saying, oh, you know what, yeah, look at how they treated, I mean, one of their own. I mean, it's logical to say that Rashford is one of your own. I mean,
yeah, I'm not saying no to that, but I don't understand what you mean when you say
he's a homeboy. He's one of your own. And I mean, Zirkzee is looking at this thing. He's looking at it and he's like, look at how they treated one of your own. One of your own is languishing on the bench just because the board don't want him there. And I mean, look at the treatment I'm getting. I'm being hacked out in 30-something minutes. I mean, just take me through the mind. It's true, bro. Take me through the mind of what Zirkzee is thinking, bro. Because if I'm in that position, and I'm seeing all these things happening around me, bro, I wouldn't want to give 100. In fact, coach, don't put me in that team. I don't want it because you don't believe in me. You certainly don't believe in one of your own. Bro, it doesn't get one of your own than that. And look at how Rashford is being treated just because they want to push the kid out. I mean, give the kid a run. Let him run in the last 10 minutes. Let him get a run. But no, they hacked him away. Do you think Zexi as a player is looking at the situation and he's saying, yeah, I would stay here? Or he has had that opening with Juventus right now, ready to go? Do you think it will still affect his gameplay in any way? Because genuinely, players are always having problems concentrating mentally when they have those type of things going on in their heads. Don't you think?
I mean, it will be possible. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not possible that Marcus Rashford is going to be having a difficult time right now, based on all reports and all things happening in concern. Because at the end of the day, I mean, like you said, he's one of our own, and realistically, I don't dislike the guy, bro. I'll be so real and say that I actually like the guy a lot.
Big
I
up
just
Del
think that
Boy. Subscribe to Del Boy TV. Real one out there. Real one out there. Yeah. Big ups.
I just
Big
think
ups to
that
great
Marcus
one.
Rashford is one of those players that technically only have himself to blame for the situation as things stand currently, because he has not performed well. He has not been consistent for the better part of the last 3 or 4 seasons. So while he is one of our own, at the end of the day, this is football. And in football, when
Mm,
you're not performing at the standard required for the team that you play for, you get replaced. As hard as it is to
mm.
deal with, no one is here saying Marcus Rashford is trash. Like, I am trying to sell him to you guys, because you guys need a player
No,
who on his day could be a world
get him
beater.
far away from this football club. But again, Mark, this is what I'm explaining to you. Arsenal get the scrap of the scraps. I mean, we go to Chelsea, we bring in Kai Havertz. I mean, before then, a year before then, we went to
Mm-hmm.
get Willian. I mean, and we're throwing out money for these players. We're throwing out money. Bro, it's not sustainable. We get the trash of the trashiest players. And again, Rashford, bro, in no way am I claiming that there's no, that Rashford still doesn't have anything in him. I do think he has something in him, but bro, we don't need to do that. We can go bring a Victor Osimhen, because we'll be funding and funneling cash to Manchester United to go fund the move for Victor Osimhen or Victor Gyökeres in the summer. And this is typical Arsenal. It's what we do. We give these teams lots of money and get the trash. We get their trash and we funnel them with cash. And they go get, oh, thank you, Arsenal. God bless you. They clap for you and they go get who they want. And it's not making sense. It's not
True.
making sense. So, bro, man, it hurts me, bro. And that's because I love Arsenal to the core, because we do these things and it pains me. But again, my first 11, we can't do more than having Kai Havertz leading that front lines anyway. Um, for me, I think Martinelli should start that game because he had more of a positive showing in that Newcastle game than Trossard, the current option we have down that left hand side. Down the right hand side, I think it just has to be Gabriel Jesus, and that's because there's no option down that road. I mean, when Ari is injured, I mean, because Saka was injured, that's how that road will close. In my midfield, keep it conservative, go in a three-man midfield. Thomas Partey, Declan Rice to bump forward when he can, because I mean, the last time we beat Manchester United, it was playing in that roaming eight. What I mean by a roaming eight is that sometimes he had that interchangeability. Sometimes it changed
Mm-hmm.
seamlessly with Thomas Partey. Sometimes Thomas Partey bumps forward because he can get into those deep dashing runs and try to open up spaces too. He has that in his wheelhouse. Also, Declan Rice too can hurt you too in those cases. He did it against Manchester United when we played you guys at Old Trafford. I think it opened up spaces. It was bumping forward in that eighth position, coming back to do the dirty job in that midfield as a number 62. So it's in his wheelhouse to do that. I really do think Declan Rice is a box to box kind of midfielder, but again, he has been having drab performances. So, but in this case, I'll just put Thomas Partey in that midfield. I'll put Declan Rice and maybe Odegaard to see if we can be that creative spark that we need down there. I doubt it, but that's just the best we can do it right now. And of course, my defense is pretty simple. One of the biggest problems you'll be facing down that right hand side will be how to contain this Dutch international Julian Timber. When he's bumping forward, it's like a mid five we have in midfield because he's always playing invertedly. He has deep dashing runs through that right hand side. When Bukayo Saka was, of course, not injured when he was in the team, he was always having that connectivity with him, and that chemistry was there. But right now, that chemistry has completely been thrown to the wind because Bukayo Saka is down and out, and the bozos we have down there are not even good enough to even do anything. So, but again, it still remains a big threat down that line. And of course, I want to see William Saliba as a centre back, and of course Gabriel also down there too as a centre back down there. And in my left back position, I want to see Rhys Kelly do his thing, but I'm thinking this is so intense a match that I would like Calafiori to start. I'll prefer a Calafiori to start, and then maybe a Rhys Kelly to come in the second half. That's how I think it should go. And that's because we don't even have any big kind of like options down there. I mean, we've been blighted by injuries already this season. The manager, I mean, he's been starved of cash right now because I think the owners want to boot him out. So he hasn't gotten any money for reinforcement at all. So he might have to make do with what he has right now. That's why he hasn't bought any player in this January. But again, how many options do we have down my bench? My bench is drab. I mean, we have Trossard, can't do anything. I mean, Jorginho, I mean, it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
I mean, I would say this, right? It doesn't look great right now for the likes of an Arsenal, to be honest. It doesn't look amazing because, I mean, you have been in way better situations, in better form. Of course, I think concurrently, I would say that I would have rated the likes of Emery as a better coach, a coach that you all should have backed more. You know what I mean? But again, at the end of the day, whether they get rid of Arteta or they don't get rid of Arteta, what's important is what Arteta do in this game against Man United. Because Arsenal, like I said, you guys need to win a cup. You need to win something. This team needs to win something before, they don't ever end up winning anything. And that's like the likelihood of what is going to happen if you guys don't win something. So me as a rival fan, as a rival hater as well, honestly, I would hope you all don't win anything. And I would actually hope that, to be honest, United smash you all tomorrow and send you all into meltdown. As a brethren, you know what I mean? I hope you all win, but not against United as a brethren, I'll be honest.
Exactly. So what's your prediction for the matchup? Big up to John Smith and, of course, Hendon Gunner. You've been so tremendous in the charts this evening. Big ups to you, Hendon Gunner. Much respect. I respect you. The Assemble, too. Big ups to you. The Assemble said something. He said, Forest are trying to loan Douglas Luiz. Isn't that odd? Edu tried to sign him for Arsenal and failed. If he does it for Forest, the transfer policy at Arsenal has to be called into question. And of course, Douglas Luiz from Juventus is up for grabs. And bro, it's only Nottingham Forest that's trying to make do of that situation. Arsenal just waffling away. I mean, just waffling away in the transfer window. Bro, man, my club is we're in danger. We are in danger.
You're talking to the congregation here, my club.
I mean, brother, man, have you heard of endangered species? I mean, my club is an endangered species. We're in trouble. We can't even get Douglas Luiz. We are in trouble. This manager is horrible. We can't even go and bring credible players in. We just need a striker to come in and put in these goals. And right now, we're left with Kai Havertz. Bro, man,
I feel like Joanne might have you a little frustrated with her comment too as well, to be fair, but You know, I wouldn't have said that, Joanne, after, you know, hearing his pain. You know, this
She's an
brethren.
Arsenal fan. She's an
And
Arsenal,
she's an
but she's
I
fed
know
up
she's
with
an
what is
Arsenal
going on at
fan.
the football
You
club.
know,
A
I've
big
seen her in your
Arsenal fan.
chats
I
many
respect
times.
her.
I just feel
Mm.
like, for me, like I keep it 100% a buck, bro. As much as I love my team, I'll be honest, my team hasn't bought anyone this January. We need a left back for the last 18 months who we could guarantee will be fit. And man, them still telling us in 2025, the doctor that we buy from Arsenal, the guy that we bring from Arsenal, you remember that guy?
Complete fraud.
Right?
Fraud.
He says
Oh,
he
my
guarantees again for a second time under a second manager that Luke Shaw will be fit after January. So don't buy
my
anyone,
days.
Man United. You know, and
God.
apparently this is what Man United is doing. So bro, you're preaching to the congregation. My team is
He's
not
an
the problem.
agent. He's an agent. He's an agent.
Brother,
He's an agent.
I pray every day that we fire this guy because, brother, since Arsenal left him, the team couldn't be more fit. Since he came to United, we couldn't have more injury crisis. Why we
Man
bring
is
this
an
guy
informer.
here?
Man
This
is
guy
an informer.
is a saboteur. He's not an informer. He's French. He's a saboteur. You know what I'm saying? So this is not filet mignon, bro. And this is not Sauvignon Blanc.
He's an
We
informer.
want to win titles. We want to win gold trophies, bro. These guys keeping us under silverware, bro. Under the silverware. Not even near it.
Mark, I've enjoyed this show, my brother. It has come to an end. But again, what's your final prediction for this matchup?
Bro, to be fair, I don't know if I said 3-1, but Joanna had it right. That's been my prediction for the last couple of days. I just feel like United will surprise Arsenal for some strange reason. And I think a big change would be the fact that I feel like this team, tasting that performance off of Liverpool, is a problem that Arsenal didn't need to have.
So, what's your prediction, Mark?
3-1 United.
3-1 United. Hendon Gunnar says something here. He says, Marty Di Sato and Gunnar. Shout out to Marty Di Sato, a very big friend of mine, and I'm a big collaborator with him. Great guy. Love his channel. Love the guy himself. He's a great guy. And he says, Marty Di Sato and Gunnar said that he believes the Kroenkes have turned off the cash tap to Arteta, obviously not impressed by the waste of exactly. Like, I mean, I know Americans for one thing, they're capitalists. I mean, they want to invest money somewhere and they need it back. I mean, they want the money pronto.
If it's men them want the money like yesterday, today they invested today, but they needed the payback yesterday.
Exactly, bro. They need that money. So, and when you're looking at the acrimonious signings that Arteta has made, I mean, the trashy sign, bro. You remember one kid we bought for $40 million from Porto? Guys, can you remember me that guy's name?
Vitinha? Is Vitinha?
Not Vitinha. One useless player, one midfielder we bought for $40 million. Arsenal sent that guy on loan. And he's not coming. $40 million down the drain. I've forgotten the guy's name because I don't need to know his name again. Bro, those funds have been mismanaged. Even the players we had, we've mismanaged their talent. Charlie Patino, you remember that kid?
Yeah, he was a phenom, bro.
Wasted. Lokonga, another waste. Bro, this manager is wasted. And look at Martinelli. His form has dropped. This is a player that scored 15 goals 2 seasons ago. Right now, it's averaging just 5 goals. Bro, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But again, tomorrow, Mark, this is a surprising one. I do think we're going to lose that game. And I think we're going to lose that game by 2-1. I think Man United goes through. Because my team right now, when we drop points and when we lose in clusters. Bro, I've seen this Arsenal team. When we lose in clusters. When we draw in clusters. When we have good games, we go on that run. Maybe a 5-game run, 4-game run. But when we do lose, we don't know how to just come back, and our mentality is shaken to the core. So I do believe that Manchester United might beat us tomorrow. And definitely, if the Man United that showed up against Liverpool shows up tomorrow, we're in big trouble. Big trouble. But again, let's see. I hope to have a post game show with you later on in the evening on Sunday, down on your channel where I will be meeting
We
your
will
fans.
co-stream
As you
into
can
both
see,
channels, bro, so your fans can see it too. I know
yeah,
I will
definitely.
create a logo as well. I'll create a thumbnail as well. If you have time, send my picture so I could
Yeah,
put it on.
sure.
You know what I mean? And we'll
Yeah,
have that.
sure,
Yeah,
man.
we'll do a thing, bro. I think it'll be an interesting one. It'll be real fun. You know how it is. It was
It's
real
be
fun
real
having this
fun.
stream
Yeah,
with you. I'll be honest.
bro, I've had
I
fun.
enjoyed
I've
the
had
stream. I
fun.
didn't feel like I was doing anything other than just having a nice conversation. Big up to everyone in chat for who have been so hospitable and welcoming me to the stream. Big up to you guys.
Mm,
I know I'm a rival and a United fan, so I know the hate is real. But we could
mm,
hate the hate, and we could still love football. And that's one thing that
mm,
I think that is the message we should be sending as content creators, no matter where we are. We could hate each other's teams, but we could still love football. And at the end of the day,
mm.
we're one community, no matter what, because we're all football fans. Big up to the Arsenal and big up to Man United. Tomorrow's going to be a treat to the eyes. Trust me, I thinking it's going to be a very good game. It could be an even more high scoring game than we are predicting right now. And hopefully there are lots of thrills. You know what I mean? Rises
Mm.
and falls, and we enjoy the game. Whoever wins, may the best team win. Of course, I hope United comes away victorious. I would love to lift the FA Cup to guarantee I'm in Europe next season or win the Europa League. But you know how it
Yeah.
goes, guys.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mark and channel. I mean, see, yeah, I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Yeah, I mean, top guy. You guys can see eloquently speaking about Manchester United and their chances for tomorrow, and this is why I want to keep working with this guy. And of course, Mark, you can see the respect. That I mean, the chat has given to you. They do like you. I mean, if it's some other guys, I mean, you'll be seeing lots of vitriolic statements, being hauled at you. But of course, I mean, they respect your person, they respect your IQ, they respect what you're saying down here, and it would definitely continue because we'll be working together. Like I said, there'll be a couple of shows me and you'll be doing together. So, guys in the chat, this is introducing to you my brother Mark. He's always in the chat most of the time for me. Most of the time, I go down to his chat, but I'm a bit of a troll on his channel because the Manchester United fans down there, yeah, they don't they don't like Arsenal fans. They hate. I mean, they hate our guts, but you could see the reception you got down here. The loving reception. Lots of comments down here, and people like your person. So it's all good. Big ups to everyone who came to the show. D Assembled, Hendon Goon, Joan Smith, and big shout out to Hendon Goon. He made this chat pop today. Big up to Mama Flossie who came quite earlier. Del Boy TV, Lookman, all these guys, yeah. Big ups to you people. Moss Sports World, Kenny Fan TV, all these guys that popped in today. Brenny K74, all these guys that came to watch today. Big ups to you. And God bless you guys. Amy Baba was also in the house, so that's my guy. And me and Mark will be having a show tomorrow, a post-game show. I'll be letting you guys know the timing because it's gonna be on this channel, and I'm gonna stream it to my own channel too. So you guys just keep preparing because me and Mark, here we come. He's come down here for this show, and we're just here, and we're gonna keep giving it to you as it goes. So from me and my brother Mark, we are out. Peace,
Big up,
people.
guys.
Peace.